Nani alitupa Maati? Maati ni muhimu. Who gave us Maati? But what is Maati? Is it important? Is it beneficial? How can we use it? Why are we not using it? Welcome to Marfado, our inheritance. This preacher by LM Dumizulu saying, "Sesfikliskat soktati lifaletu. Naragach ihe nketa anyi kutora naka yedu kurudisha urithi wetu." Maati. This is a very interesting and very important term. Maati is now our Ubuntu practical natural law. It is what you have if you have got melanin dominant skin as your spiritual heritage. It is your basis for growing your awareness with revered ancestors, divine principles, also known as divinities, and eventually it will connect you with the creator of our ancestors. We shall define this creator in a very different way and manner than Christianity, Islam, and Judaism. But how is this achieved? It is achieved through what we call Merkaba. In other words, to connect this which is in you and your soul. And then once that is activated, something happens in your life. We shall also have a say on the car from one of the books that we are featuring these days. However, by mastering a number of other faculties like sacred geometry, true history, atomic mathematics, atomic chemistry, atomic biology, sacred melanin dominant languages, symbols like this, and writing, cosmology, time, space, and preparation unto death, economics, meaning of all the laws known to men, of all intellectual disciplines, meaning of all the education that you can get today, including Western education and production, which is scientific and technological advancements. It means that you can be able to establish true civilization in society and in your life. Maati is Ubuntu, is a spirit in action. It is our spirit in action. You have to think Maati, you have to sleep Maati, you have to eat Maati, you have to repeat it daily. Let's continue with another factor that is very, very critical in understanding Maati. To understand Maati, we want to know who gave us Maati. Just as in each country, or just as in any jurisdiction, there is a constitution, which is a blueprint upon which all the other bylaws and laws rest and are expanded from. Similarly, the Creator gave us Maati as our constitution and also as the constitution for the world. The teachings of the ancient sages, ancestors, and the teachings of distinguished African teachers and many other wise people down to the present time are simply illustrations and enlargement that should be based on the restoration of Maati. But this creator that gave us Maati is not God. Spirit is created. Being is a third dimensional reality. The Most High is a comparative term of deities. So from this book, the Creator or God, which you can get from Amazon, or describes and tells us that the Creator is not a spirit or a physical being or the Most High. The Creator exists beyond all those descriptions. The Creator is not a spirit or a being because there is a chasm between everything else that you know, including your full definition of the Creator and the Creator. This is where Maati emanated from. That which created the laws of creation by a process that has never been known and will never be known as long as we are in the realms of the spirit or created spirit or living dead or divinities or humanity. All we have to know is that the whole totality of Maati, which emanates from the non-spirit, non-being, via the divinities, the gods and goddesses, and the living dead, gives us the spirit and gives us the awareness of the reality of the Creator who gave us Maati. The one who created Maati, from our understanding of Christian myths, was created when Ra rose up from the waters of Nyunyu. The waters of Nyunyu are considered to be the ancient and the most and the oldest realities of entities out of which atom arose, and like a phoenix effuses and gives us life. The waters of union are represented by our ancestors in many, many, many areas. The chevron walls in Great Zimbabwe represent the waters of union. You find them also in Nigeria. You find it everywhere. And also the Zimbabwe bird, which represents Horesu, is the waters of Nyunyu, and also the representation of the infinite divinities or infinite source. So Maati was often considered to be the daughter of Ra and was married to Jahute, because Jahute is wisdom, gives you understanding, gives you perception. But Maati was more than just a goddess to the ancient melanin-dominant ancestors. She represented the crucial concept of how the universe was maintained, not created, but maintained. Remember, we said we do not know how the universe was created. No one knows that, because it emanates from a non-being, non-spirit reality or source. This is crucial in developing a strong sense of morality and justice. Maat is extremely important in achieving the afterlife. So these are the most powerful sources or divinities that we can think of and consider when we are thinking of Maati. This is air, shu or tafunyatu, moisture, guvu, which is earth, or guvu, vu means soil or earth, and nyute, heavens. And out of them we get Isisu, Ausarije, who gives us the good divinity, Oresu. And also Neptites and Shata, who give us also a very powerful divinity, Anobisa, whom we use. And the Shata is where you have all the evil. And it's also where you can derive Isfet to accompany your Maati. You need Isfet to accompany your Maati. Let's consider this book that we have been dealing with, Chi-Squared Philosophy and Method by TDKA, Dr. Kilimanjaro. He says here in chapter 2, when a historical enslaved people discuss a spirit arc, they usually explain it from a position of fear. Within the enslaving population's myths and mystical stories written in the Bibles, Qurans, and Torahs, they have been indoctrinated under these books, as they often plead under the guise of prayer to what they see as a cosmic bellhop. Essentially, fear is their only God. Others who have had their societies, civilizations, or cultures are shattered by the invading, occupying populations, often hastily gather and paste together as best as they could shattered remnants of religious rituals, chants, morals, ethics, norms, and values their conquered civilizations once had. This is our situation now, often calling these spiritual systems. But what is a spirit other than matter in the form of energy, a property of matter? That's why we said God is not what you think. If they say God is a spirit, that's right, but that's not the creator. But that is a spirit, a property of matter that has not been scientifically explained and objectively, consistently, and openly harnessed. Spirit does not exist outside of matter, though it may take forms that are not objectively verified or explained. Each population deals with this unknown in different ways. Ancient African Hamit was advanced in its understanding of spirit, spiritualism, and matter. They explained it through the concept of Maat, balance, justice, rightness, cosmic order, will, and cycles of spiraling harama. So this is our understanding of the source of Maati. We continue to explore it and give more evidence and ask the question, how did our ancient ancestors worship Maati? They couldn't worship it. It was inside them. Here is the proof. Ancient melanin-dominant cosmology, etymology, is encoded within us. The sun, divinity Ra, shown here, upside down, in the waters of Nyunyu, curled backwards like a circle. This is Africa, the golden ratio. And this is the definition of the ninefold soul, which is inside or which is you. And with Maat, wisdom and the science, Jikahute, right? Principles embedded within him here, right? And then extending that out of his head with like a red crayon here into heat, which is the spirit, which is energy, which is your drive, which is your will inside you, like the waters of Nyunyu on the shoe, in the air, and the light, blue sky. And the curled figure of 9 represents melanin dominant humans and is the golden ratio too, as well as melanin dominant or dominance us. This is where we get Maat. The Greeks knew that. That's why they changed one of our cities, which was known as Unu or Bantu, to Heliopolis. And the Bible says on. This originally was Unu, Bantu, melanin dominant humans. So you see, the Chinese have got their holy place in China. The Israelis have their holy place in Israel. The Arabs have taken over Arabia, Makkah. The Japanese have in Japan. The Indians have their holy place in India. Africans have no holy place. They think it's Jerusalem. They think it's Arabia. They think it's China. They think it's India. This is what Emara Himotep says. What's wrong with our people? Here is your holy place, Unu, in Africa. There. That's where Atti was born. That's where Atti was given. The Greeks know their 9-letter theta in Greek symbolized like this, which hides the secret of the name Unu by Heliopolis. So the sun god, also 9. This 9th letter of the Greek alphabet is symbolic of our Kamitian energy, the 9 divinities that we have shown previously. The letter itself and the symbol and the hieroglyphic represents water, represents our hair, represents bread, represents us. And here, 3000 years BCE, Unu, this place, went through this metamorphosis up to today, theta, by the Greeks. So that's the source of Maat. This is Maat. The 42 laws that we should be able to recite, understand, and they say daily. I honor virtue. I live in truth. I honor animals with reverence, your totems. I keep my own counsel, your divine counsel, based on your ninefold soul. I follow my inner guidance. The kingdom is inside you. I advance through my own abilities and I embrace the all. So, after a lifetime of all this, every lifetime that you live, when you die, you are eventually judged in the judgment hall, shown here. If you do well, you are given the afterlife. If you fail, you are either vanquished or you are recycled into another rebirth. We already had the laws. 3,000 years before Judaism came here, we were already there. So you don't need to follow the Torah. You do not need to follow the Old Testament, the writers, or the Bible, or the Jesus, or Muhammad, or the Quran. You do not need them. Because he who gave us Maat is beyond human time. And Maat is beyond human. This is trivial. We are following trivialities here if you follow these. We already had the laws. Scholars give us 4,000 BCE, but we already existed. We cannot follow what came in 900 BCE, Brahma religion, or Muhammadism, or Islam, or Christianity, or Judaism. Nah, we can't. He who gave us Maat wanted us to experience life on earth and win. We must be living under Bantu salvation culture. It is a life worth striving for. Why? So that we attain ancestorhood after judgment, so that we aim to enter into the afterlife, so that we avoid recycling back or failure. Because if we fail or if we are recycled continuously, we will be ejected through the logjam of being eaten by a moot. So you must have practical knowledge based on understanding of who gave us Maat and why. And we must also reject other gods and follow Afro-salvation systems. To be involved or to learn more, send an email to join@marfado.com and become a member of the Marfado family so that you can establish universal Ubuntu Maat spirit within your sphere and awaken it. We cannot follow the Torah. We cannot follow the Bible. We cannot follow anything else. Reducing the whole matter of Maat Ubuntu to individual terms, we arrive at some vital and highly personal conclusions. In the moral conflict now raging around us, whoever is with righteous ancestors and divinities and applying the law of Ubuntu Maat is on the creator side, is on the winning side and cannot lose. Whoever is on the evil side or following other divinities and other gods is following the losing side and will never win. Here, there is no chance or gambling. There is freedom to choose. That is human free will. Which side you want and which freedom is you want. But there is no freedom to negotiate the results of the choice once it is made. Who created Maat then? It's you. Who gave us Maat is the great one, by whose mercies we may repent, correct a wrong, make a choice, alter consequences in this life today by making a new and a right choice. Beyond that, we cannot go further. May we all benefit. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Hamidi Iburu Ethics, for ancestral spiritual congruence. Tatenda siyabonga, asante sana, edupe dalu.